it was really an ugly day. And he's like, "You get loose, you're going in." Well, I think I still had a little loopiness in my, because I was like, damn, he wants me to punt. I was a backup punter. I thought, why in the hell would he put me in at quarterback? So I was over there stretching my leg.
Not throwing at all.
Not throwing at all. And I'm as flexible as a 2x4, you know, so I'm over there doing these. And I'm kind of feeling I'm kind of like, a little second wind. I'm going in to punt. I think back now, I'm like, what an idiot. No one goes in as a backup punter. It's not like, no matter if you're up by 50, they don't say, hey, put Favre in the punt. They still do that.
No.
The punter always stays in. And that was probably the bright spot for our team that day, was the punter. And so we go out the second half, and I go in, and I'll never forget. And I'm telling you, when I went in at Green Bay, it was the same exact scenario, but the starting 5 offensive linemen at Southern Miss that year were all fifth-year seniors. I was 17 years old. October 10th, I was turning 18. So I was young. These guys were 22, and they were all just offensive linemen. And it can be like slobby and sarcastic, especially old ornery ones. It was a small crowd, as it always was at Southern Miss, but everybody was kind of like, yeah, all right. Try something new, come on. So
Really?
I go in the huddle, and I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to win the game. And they were like, hey, just shut the hell up, call the play. We ain't got time for this shit. Come on. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm running around, and we came back and won the game. We didn't run shotgun back then. It was option, toss sweep, sprint out throws, very little drop back reading type stuff.
They still don't know what you can do.
They still don't know what I can do, but I think they got a taste of, maybe we don't want to tell him anything. Maybe we just say, do whatever it is you do. And I really didn't know, but running the wishbone and the few times we threw, I knew I could throw it, and I could throw it from anywhere on the field. I was not fast, but I could get away from a lot of people. I just had a knack for buying time. And it was funny, the first pass in that game against Tulane was a 7-step drop. And I was not real keen on drops. I was still kind of, okay. My drops were,
Right.
Oh, there comes somebody, one of those. That's the way I drop back. So the first 7, I just remember my coach, Jack White, we watching film the next day, and he says, how many steps drop is that supposed to be? And I was like, I think that's a 7-step drop. He said, how many did you take? And I said, hold on, back up, coach. 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, that was 9. And I completed the pass. So I thought, man, this is awesome. He goes, when I tell you to run a 7-step drop, run a 7-step drop. I'm like, what's the big deal? I said, I completed the pass. He probably thinking, I don't think this guy gets it. But we can work with this,
Yeah, and that's something that was always kind of there with you, even in the NFL to some
Absolutely.
degree.
I became the starter after that, and I looked at things a little differently. Did I party? Yeah, I partied, but not the night before. That was really the only time I ever did that. But I started all 4 years in college. I threw for 52 touchdowns. I think it was 52. Guys throw for that in the season or less now. And I started all 4 years, so we didn't throw it a lot.
You're drafted 33rd overall by the Atlanta Falcons out of college. Now, look at this.
You want some shorts like that, don't you?
My God, there's so much going on here. First of all,
I catch all kinds of hell over this. But everybody who was around then dressed the same way. Had a little mullet.
That's a full-on mullet and fucking jorts. This is Brett Favre world. I am now an Atlanta Falcon wearing jorts.
Check out the cordless phone with the pull-out antenna.
Yeah.
Back then, I don't even know if they do this anymore. So you get drafted. The next day, you fly in to wherever, and you have like a little mini camp. Well, there was 2 flights out of Gulfport, Mississippi that would go to Atlanta. And I was on the first flight. Well, something happened to the flight, so it gets delayed. So I get there right at the end. So I go in, I throw my shorts, and grab my helmet, and I run out, you know, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. Jerry Glanville's out there, and he's got his back to me. He's got his hat on. He's got his dark sunglasses on. Turns around, and he's like, oh, Mississippi. Mississippi. And I was like, hey, Coach. Call me Jerry. And he said, what school are you from, Mississippi? And I was like, Southern Miss. I'm thinking to myself, he should know that.
Right, yeah.
I'm from Southern Miss. He said, oh, shit, we drafted the wrong guy. We wanted a guy from Mississippi State. And I kind of laughed, you know, like, I don't think he likes me. And what I hear is Ken Herrock, who was the GM, wanted me. Jerry Glanville did not.